This job, we try to save as many people as we can. Sometimes that doesn't mean everybody. But you don't give up.
What's up, guys? My name is Dorian Chadwick, and you're watching tonight's review of Captain America: Civil War. After the event, in the beginning of the film, after some events that happened in Africa where they injured and hurt some people, injured and possibly killed a couple of civilians because of they were chasing down a villain. Many folks in the world believe that the Avengers might need someone they have to answer to before they go out and do any actions. Added on to the fact that many folks are blaming them for killing a lot of civilians in Scandinavia, where the Avengers 2 took place. Leading the initiative of the Avengers being under control is Tony Stark. He believes they need someone to possibly answer them, control them, stop them from making mistakes or going into some place where they probably don't need to go at all. Captain America, on the other hand, is more like, no, the safest hands are still ours. We're still best fit to choose where we should go and where we shouldn't go. Having someone else choose that for us may not turn out good for the world. As you can see, I'm apparently Team Captain. I believe in Team Captain's philosophy. But one of the great things about this film is that both sides present their point well, and you do start thinking about it. It does make you think a little bit more than your average superhero blockbuster film would have normally made you otherwise. You kind of see the ins and outs of these philosophies, seeing that if the Avengers are kept on the leash, it might be a good thing because it keeps them from just acting out on their own, as you do see in some scenes. But then will it stop them from interfering or interfering with something else that they possibly need to because of their strengths? And those two philosophies clash, and I like how they show that how both these things can be good and or bad. As with all Marvel films, I know many of you guys were afraid that this film wouldn't, since there's all the other Avengers in here, that this wouldn't really be a Captain America film. But Lord and behold, it's still a Captain America film. Even with Robert Downey Jr. being Robert Downey Jr., it's still a Captain America film. And that's actually one of the great things about it. The last film, Winter Soldier, talked on surveillance and what we need to do to the difference between safety and privacy, and how much should we sacrifice in the name of safety, and in the event of trying to prevent a crime or an attack, versus letting people have their privacy, not digging in, not presuming that some people are just going to be bad. And Civil War keeps with that theme of we should be the ones to decide whether or not that if we should take any action, if no action at all. That doesn't mean you're not going to enjoy seeing the other guys in here. I mean, they still provide great with all the actors. I think they even got, I would say they maybe gotten better. So it's still a Captain America film, still got the feel, and this is all in thanks to great direction by the Russo brothers, who did Winter Soldier as well. Or they're just more comfortable around each other. It's definitely a joy to see them on screen together, especially when they're talking about this topic of whether or not they should be under someone's control. It's so enlightening to see. It's great. You'll enjoy the banter they have. If you enjoy the banter in the first Avengers and Avengers 2, you're going to enjoy it here. It's pretty much the same as it was. The action scenes are top notch. The first scene, it's a very heart pumping scene. It gets you engrossed in the movie instantly, and it's perfect. Almost every action scene in this film is perfect because it leads into something else. It's not like they just created a scene just to make a scene. Nothing feels forced. It feels natural. Everyone, used to criticize Marvel on doing the big 3 action scenes in their movies, and that was probably true in the beginning. But this one, you don't feel it at all. I mean, Now here's the thing. It is a lengthy movie. It's 2.5 hours, like 2 hours and 34 minutes, 39 minutes to be exact. So it is a long film. You do feel the length, especially when they're talking. They kind of hit some of the same points that they've talked about before. Like, it feels like they might be repeating the same conversation, but it's not so bad. But before I leave the action part, I gotta say, the middle part where they're all fighting each other, it is perfect. This is everything this is like the perfect, it's the greatest, I can't even call it the greatest action scene of all time or the greatest superhero action scene of all time because we haven't seen every superhero film ever yet, but it's up there. I mean, it is just downright fantastic. We know people usually have jokes about, oh, this hero's kind of useless. Oh, what's the point of having this guy? He's not gonna do anything. You cannot make such an argument in this fight. Everyone has a purpose, everyone has a point. It's choreographed well. I mean, the only big complaint is maybe the editing thing could have been just a little bit better, a little bit smoother, but you can still tell what's going on. You can still tell who's throwing a punch, who's blocking and whatnot. It's a great action scene. It's creative. No one is left out. Everyone has a purpose and a point. Even Hawkeye, and Hawkeye was the biggest surprise out of everyone. Overall, I'll give this movie a 9 out of 10. It's good, it's great. It's just like my third or second favorite Marvel film so far. I'm still debating between Winter Soldier and Avengers, of course, but this is definitely top notch. It's a film that's still fun and yet can cover a serious topic, unlike its competitor, Superman. Oh man, I got a lot of phlegm in my throat. Goodness gracious. And that's about all the time I have for you guys today. If you like what you see, please rate and subscribe to the video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.
On the roof!
Hey everyone.